Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside C3i magazine, issue number 33. This is published by RBM Studio and is available on c3iopcenter.com as well as amazon.com very soon. Inside this issue, we're going to get the latest game from Mark Herman, which is Waterloo Campaign 1815. This is a follow-on to his Gettysburg design that he had in C3i magazine last year. So let's take a look inside the magazine and see what you get. All right, we get our magazine. A scenario for SBQR Deluxe. Some cards and counters for Empire of the Sun, Churchill, and Twilight Struggle. Tactics tables for Battles of the American Revolution series game. Some stickers. The Waterloo Campaign rules. The big giant Waterloo Campaign map. Some player aids. And our counter sheet. So let's set up the map, take a look at everything you get. And here's a look at the map that comes with the Waterloo 1815. It is really beautifully done, 22 by 34 inch map. You can see the roads, you can see the rivers, and you can see the towns and the cities. They really pop. The rest of the map, including the terrain, the hexes, and the hex numbers are kind of subdued. And I like the way that contrast balances out and it really draws your eye to the cities, and the movement makes it easier for you to pick those things up, because that's what this game's all about, making it easy to get to the table. Aids that come with the game, this is the setup player aid. You can see it just lists out where the locations are for setting up your units on the map, and you can just compare it to the map in front of you. Then on the backhand side, we get the player aid card. It gives you your turn record track, your remaining moves, your French setup for turn 1, and the sequence of play. The other player aid card gives us our terrain effects chart, which gives us the name of the terrain, the example on the map, movement effects, combat effects, and any notes associated with that terrain. On the backhand side is the attack summary. It walks you through the entire steps of running an attack, including your combat results table and explanation at the bottom. And here's a look at the counter sheet that comes with the magazine. This top half here is for Waterloo 1815. This is for ESSI, which was in a previous issue of C3i. We've got counters for other GMT games: Fields of Fire, Pericles, Wilderness War, Holland 44, Last 100 Yards, Clash of Giants, Unconditional Surrender, Gallipoli 1916, usual assortment of great counters that we've come to expect from C3i. And we'll take a look inside the rulebook for the game. It is a 22-page rulebook, but I think it's about 7 pages of rules. The rest of it is examples of play and other supporting text. We have setup, key concept, and definitions that cover the first couple pages, explanation of the game counters, and we start with the sequence of play at the bottom of page 3. Then we go into the rest of the steps for the game. We get into movement phase, attack phase, and then the end phase and victory conditions here on page 7. And then we start off with the campaign itself for Waterloo from June 16th to the 18th on page 8. So you can see not a lot of pages of rules. The rest of it's all going to be supporting text. Then we start with our example of play here. Really big illustrated examples to walk you through all of the steps of the game, which is really great to have. This is what we want to see. Nice, easy, entry-level games to get people excited about playing war games, as well as, games that we can play that are pretty simple also. Then we also have another scenario here, June 15th to the 18th, the full 4 days at Waterloo. And then we have more examples that continue on. And then we have designer's notes from Mark Herman on page 22. And I said it was a 22-page rulebook. It's actually a 23-page. We'll take a look inside the magazine itself. As always, it's chock full of great articles, different scenarios, things like that for your GMT games. Here we have an alternative airborne landing location for Holland 44, and those are the counters at the top right. We've already seen those on the counter sheet. We have an article from Volko Runke, Stock and Flow in War Games, that discusses about supply mechanics in games and how those work with different examples explained out here. Then we have the Infantry Weapons and Tactics. This is from the designer of Fields of Fire, Ben Hull. Goes over the different weapons that can be employed by the rifle company and how they're tied into Fields of Fire. Then we have another Cleo's Corner from Mark Herman. This is Distilling History to its Essence, or How to Make Wargame Moonshine. I like the sound of that. And that's a several page article. And then, Daddy, you say you don't like war, so why do you play these games? And Interesting topic that does come up and is discussed quite often about how if you could be against war, can you play war games? Then we get to the sexy centerfold, which is Campaigns of 1777, the game designed by Harold Buchanan and in Strategy and Tactics issue 316. And following up on that, we have Thoughts, Designer's Notes, and a new scenario for Campaigns of 1777 from Harold Buchanan. And then there is the scenario. Solitaire play method, this is by Joel Toppin. Then we have a Churchill variant, which we saw the cards for earlier. Then we have Palimos variant from Pericles for Mark Herman's game. Then we got Stuka Joe, Jose Ruiz. He is the interview in this issue. There's a Joe at hard at work making some of those great videos that he makes, and he is just a huge part of our wargame community. Then we have a December 41 variant for Empire of the Sun, which we also saw those cards earlier. ISI Campaign 1815, SPQR, Solitaire Tactic Methods for playing Battles of the American Revolution series games. So that'll be interesting for those who are fans of that. Ted Racer interview. And then we have, oh my God, they killed Castro. That time South Park referenced Twilight Struggle. And that's where we get the Blame Canada card and song from South Park. And then we have a nice tribute from Mark Herman to his good friend Richard Berg, who passed away last year. And then we have weather limitations for Unconditional Surrender, the counter manifest for issue number 33, and then a nice tribute to Chad Jensen, who also passed away last year, at the back of the magazine. And that is a look at everything you get inside of C3i Magazine, issue number 33, a magazine published by RBM Studio and available on c3iopcenter.com. If you're a fan of Mark Herman's Gettysburg, you're going to be a fan of Mark Herman's Waterloo Campaign 1815. They've expanded the map, bigger, beautiful map, but same system, very similar feel, easy to understand, easy to digest, and as we saw in the rulebook, there are illustrated examples of play. So this is a great intro war game to get your friends to play that may not play war games. Tons of variants, tons of counters, tons of great articles. As always, C3i Magazine, best war game magazine on the market. So I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.